Hi, again, my name is Bill Bob. I am a man in long-term recovery, and I've been asked to describe what I think recovery is, or how would I describe recovery. So for me, first and foremost, I would say recovery is a reality. Recovery is possible, and recovery for me was an inside. I believe recovery is an inside job. For me, it was an inside job, and what I mean by that is I had to change my attitudes and behaviors about what I was doing and how I reacted to situations and how I reacted to people in certain situations. So for me, recovery is a process of change. I had to take certain actions. I had to, as I said, change my attitudes and my behaviors. And by doing that, I was able to deal with situations in the past that would have caused me to use substances to mask my feelings. I was able to get through those situations without using substances because I had the tools that I acquired in recovery. My path in recovery is through a 12-step fellowship. I've also grown in my recovery over the past year and a half now as working as a recovery coach and certified recovery peer advocate. So that's been a part of my recovery as well. And what when I was taking the Recovery Coach Academy training and we were talking about recovery, I made this statement, and the statement really just kind of came out. I didn't really think about it. The instructor said, like, what's recovery for you? And I said, today I feel like recovery, I'm not in recovery, recovery's in me. And what I meant by that, when I thought about it, was it's a part of my being today. Like I react to some situations now in a more serene and peaceful way that sometimes I kind of like take myself by surprise, and I'll be like, wow, like I would usually tell this person to go take a walk, and I don't do that. I mean, I'm not perfect. So I do that at times, but I don't do it anywhere near as much as I used to. And I used to have this internal anger all the time. And that would boil over at the most inappropriate times for the stupidest things. You know, the straw that broke the camel's back. I would explode over. And early on in my recovery, when I was going to meetings, I heard someone share about a topic, and the topic was the pain of abstinence without recovery. And I remember sitting there thinking, well, if I can stop using the substance, I'll be okay. Because that's the problem. The problem's the substance. Years later, what I found out, because I spent a long time proving to myself that I did have a substance use problem, I later found out that, and it says in the literature over and over again, the substance is just a symptom of our problem. The problem is within ourselves. But luckily, the solution's in ourselves as well. The solution was in me, but I had to make some changes in my attitudes and my behaviors and my beliefs in order to solve those issues. I say sometimes my most disconcerting day in recovery was when I realized I didn't have a substance problem. I had a bill problem, I called it. Right? How I reacted to certain situations, how I dealt with them, or how I didn't deal with them. I would use the substances to numb myself and not feel anything. And then when the substance wore off, I still had those feelings, and it didn't solve anything. It just made things worse. So recovery to me is a lifelong process. I feel like I want to be, and I will be in recovery for the rest of my life. It's provided me with an unbelievable, serene life with many people in my life who love me and who I love. I'm an integral part of my son's life again, and none of that would have happened without recovery. I was going down a path the last time that I used the substances, that I was going down a path that I knew was not going to end well. You know, in the literature of the 12-step program that I came to recovery through, it says, the outcomes of jails, institutions, and death. I was in an institution. I luckily was never in jail. Obviously, I'm not dead, but those are things that were going to wait for me. I was headed down that path, and thank God, by reaching out to my higher power, my sponsor, working the steps, and working with people in NA and my family. My family was unbelievably supportive of me. And I really think without them, I don't think I would have been able to do it. And that's what recovery means for me. It's a change, a process of change that continues for me every